So, good afternoon, Jean-Paul.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad that you are here and you took your time and to give us here this interview. And you are an Indonesian guitarist, and Jean-Paul is the name I know, but your last name?
Sumual. But yeah, I normally just go by John Paul. I think it's easier.
That's much easier for us, you know. Well, so you come from a country which is not very known for us as a guitar country, as a classical music country. Can you tell us something about Indonesia, about the situation, especially when you came here?
Right, so I came here, when I first came here around 4 years ago to study. To the best of my knowledge, I was the only Indonesian classical guitarist studying in Europe. And since then, to the best of my knowledge now, there's been an increase. I think there's at least 5 or 6 of us now studying abroad, including myself, mostly in Europe, and I think one of us is in the US. Okay. So that's a good improvement, I guess.
So I understand that you are giving master classes in Indonesia.
Yes.
Every year, probably, or...
Yes, I try to return regularly whenever I can. Normally it's at least once or twice a year, and I try to share the knowledge that I've gained from my teachers here with the other guitarists in Indonesia.
Right.
Yeah.
So, by the way, you want to drink some wine?
Sure, yes please.
I mean, we are in Europe, not in Indonesia. So, let's see. Hope you like it. It's from Italy.
Oh, great.
So now we are, especially, we have already the connection to Italy. As far as I know, you studied in Italy with with 2 very good famous teachers.
Yes, I study at Conservatorio Domenico Cimarosa in Avellino.
Okay.
With Lucio Matarazzo and Maestro Aniello Desiderio.
Ah, the great Aniello.
Yes.
Also a good friend of mine, and we worked together so many times. Let's first have a drink. And
cheers.
Cheers. Mm.
Italian wine.
Italian wine from Montalcino. Really nice, eh? Anyway, so can you also tell us something about our about your career as far as it goes, like giving concerts or classes, master classes?
Yeah, well, I suppose so I started to study in Koblenz. I studied at the Koblenz International Guitar Academy with Aniello Desiderio, and I started in 2010, and since 2011 I started holding an annual concert in Jakarta it's actually a fundraising concert because I work together with it's called Yayasan Biji Sesawi, or if translated it's the Mustard Seed Foundation, which works together with for the education and to improve the lives of the children living in the slums in Jakarta. Okay. And in some other areas like Yogyakarta. And so I raise funds to support their education. Education isn't free in Indonesia, at least not yet. Maybe it will be in the near future, hopefully. But at that time, it was not. And so I performed in order to raise funds for them. And besides that, during my studies in Koblenz, I would have some opportunities to perform in Germany, Austria. Last year I did a concert in Madrid, in Spain.
Oh, great. For
the Indonesian embassy.
Good.
Yeah, so.
And of course in Italy, I suppose.
Not yet, but they will be coming, hopefully.
Yeah. So, I mean, in your country, which is how many inhabitants?
Lots. 240 million people.
Oh, so 3 times more than Germany.
Actually. Yeah. That's what the official count says.
Oh, good. So that means in your country the guitar is still on a kind of rising way up, and you have not so many opportunities in the moment, but the interest must be great.
Yes, I mean,
for the guitar.
If the question is where it's at now, okay, it's still relatively a new thing. Most people don't even know a classical guitar or even classical music. But the good thing is that it is on the rise, and you know, classical music has really become increasingly popular in the country because it's new and people want to have yet to discover it. And so far, many people have come to have a positive interest towards it. And it's weird because we actually, I don't know, maybe if in Europe there's a problem with declining audiences, and for us we have an ever-increasing audience. One of the challenges is actually to have enough proper venues and enough artists to fill the venues. We have enough audience, we just don't have enough local artists and local, for example,
but it's very far from us to go there.
True. That's actually one of
the flight is how many hours?
Whoa, the quickest flight is around 14 hours.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I haven't been there so far. So anyway, so what are your plans for the future?
Well, one of my plans that I hope to be able to start materializing, maybe even as soon as next year, is besides myself, I want to continue to establish sort of a performing career. I mean, you know, okay, there's Europe, but I want to be able to establish a sort of concert scene there, not just a regular one, but to continue to broaden it. Yeah. But not just for me to perform, but I want to be able to actually bring in more artists from around the world, from Europe.
So organizing a festival,
yes, organizing festivals or concerts and master classes, especially, perhaps especially that, so that in that way more people will have the opportunity to learn.
Of course,
even without. Of course, it's always better to come directly to Europe and learn here, but at least that way they will. I think that's a good way to at least introduce the music when they meet the musicians directly from the source, in a way, you know.
So that means you're not only a pioneer, you will be the Pope of the Indonesian
Pope John
guitar music. Yeah. Well, so far, thank you very much for talking to us, to German Guitar TV, and let's have a drink. Cheers.